Good evening and welcome to October 20th, Public Board of Works and Safety. All rise for pledge of allegiance, led by Diana Phillips.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor?
Thank you. Jeremiah 33:3 says, "Call to me and I will answer you. I will tell you great and mighty things which you do not know." Isn't that nice to know? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, first of all, I give you praise for who you are and ask your blessings to fill this room. You have set those present, as well as many others, on this path of being a city employee because you know they can bring positivity and growth. You've shown us what it means to serve others. And today I thank you for those who you have called to lead and serve. Remind each one that they are important to the task at hand. One is not greater than the other, but together form a vital part of the equation. Lord, it's not easy to work in a place where so much is expected, when the resources to succeed are not always put into place. So today I ask you to provide those resources so that these on this board are able to take care of those they are called to serve. Help them support one another as you bring joy to their workplace. Give each one a refreshing sense of hope that has been lost through years of stress and shortcomings. Please show us favor in the works we do with your will for the governing affairs today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, I'd like to welcome everyone. We'll begin with roll call. I'm sorry. Yep, roll call.
Becky Gibson. Present. Diane Phillips. Present. Jim Barrett.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the October 9th regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to new business. First, we have Sharon Cronfield of the House of Ruth. She's changing her boot drive to 11-1.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. We had a boot drive scheduled. I got the dates messed up. I thought it was going to be in October. We had to cancel. So we are asking to reschedule for November 1st. Times would be 10 to 3 and it would be at 6th and Central, 6th and Grand, and 24th and Grand. It's for the House of Ruth is what we do the boot drive for.
Motion to approve.
Oh, that was fast. Thanks for questions. Have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, move on down. Mr. Wilson, Director Wilson, you out there, sir? We got the Butler County Seaford 2026 Payzer reanalysis. You want to explain this? And we have the program assistance next. So it's going to do them both.
The PACER reanalysis is something they do every 2 years to look at the streets that we have. They then update those with NDOT so that everybody can kind of know I guess the inspection level that they're at. They grade them 1 through 9, I believe. 1 being the worst, 9 being the best. So every 2 years, they have to update that. And this would be the cost for it. I think it's the $10,800 for the work that they've already, or that they will do, which we have access to look at, and that's kind of the way we pick the projects for our CCMG. One of the ways we look at the ratings, and we also drive them physically and look at them.
Yeah, so just so people understand, we have to do these ratings in order to qualify for the community crossing grant.
Yep.
And then a lot of people want to think we pick streets because my buddy lives there, somebody lives there. No, they have to have this rating in order to get the grant to qualify for that. So
Yep.
we pick streets based on this rating. We look at the worst and kind of group them together, because if people are traveling here and there, that makes our costs go up. And we try to focus on areas that are bad at the same time.
We also
So,
try to correlate with the utilities and other local utilities to make sure, do they have a project going in that area? Are they gonna rip the roads up that we just put down? So we try to make sure that we don't go through and pave something when the gas company had a project a year later to come through and put new main in. So that's kind of some deciding factors as well.
Well, this is not nothing new. I mean, it's been going on for several years. so.
yeah.
Great program. 50% match still, so,
Same firm that's always done it since I've been
Right,
here, so
yep.
they do a good job.
yeah, I have no complaints, and that's on my second year.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Butler Fairman Super Pazer reanalysis for $10,800. All, give me, wow, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Tongue twister. Any opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. All right, sorry. Full of tongue twisters today. And next we have the Butler Fairman Super CCMG Program Assistance.
This one is just the work that they have done to date, $7,500. That's the engineering, the planning, to get us to the community crossing matching grant. What we provide them, they view it, they look and ask us, hey, how much do you want to do? How many square, or how much asphalting do you want to do? Do you want to mill? How many curbs are there? So a lot of work involved in that. And that $7,500 is where that comes from.
Motion to approve his request.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, sir. You want to
Thank
grab
you.
those originals real fast, please?
Oh,
Thank you. Moving down, we have Fire Chief Jones.
Good evening.
Good
Aye.
evening.
I have a request to have some language changed in an article in our rules and regs that pertains to, there's a clause that states that a new firefighter has to be on for 6 months before they're, and also have their training, and their officer has to confirm that they're familiar with all the equipment, all the stations, before they can be eligible to work overtime if there's a shift shortage. If someone calls in sick, they're not on the list to be called in currently until they've hit their 6-month anniversary date. Just about every time they're trained within 4 and 5 months and they're ready to go. And we're having circumstances now where they're just having to wait another month before they're eligible for the overtime. So my request is just to remove the 6-month requirement and allow the officers to just confirm that they've had all their training, they're familiar with all the equipment. It also affected the 2 transfers that we had that came that were already trained. So basically, they came in, they're already trained. Within a couple of weeks, they were familiar with everything, and they still had to wait for 6 months. So I got confidence in my officers to make sure that, everyone's trained, before they're eligible to be called in. So some old language, I was just requesting to remove the 6-month requirement and leave it up to the officers to make sure they're ready and familiar and trained.
I think it's a good idea, especially that deal where we had 2 came in with already several years' experience. I make a motion to approve the chief's request.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Might as well stay up here first on the department reports.
Then we'll move on to the monthly report for September. Total overtime was $13,208.01. The manpower shortage portion of that, $12,136.86, and the scheduled overtime portion was $1,071.15. Once again, we're starting to finally trend down to get back into normal range, and then we'll go over the manpower at the end with some of the notes that I've got. Moving on down to fuel usage, we used 574 gallons of fuel for the month, for a total cost of $2,083.49. Total incidents for September, we had 145, 39 of those being fire and rescue related, 95 being EMS related incidents, and we had 11 auto accidents. Total instructed training hours for the month, there was 65 hours of instructed training, 4 hours of EMS related training, and 61 hours of fire related training. Had a total of 19 fire inspections and 33 hours of fire investigation. And then I noted at the bottom, our 3 remaining firefighters that need their burn, their live fire burn, they're getting that done Wednesday over in Rushville. So, and we've got several other guys that are going to go along with them and participate in that. So, an update on our hiring process. We had our agility and written tests this past Saturday. We received a total of 19 applications. There were 7 that were dismissed due to not having the required information and documents included with the application. So we had 12 remaining. They all showed up for the agility test. We had 6 pass the agility test. And then they returned later that afternoon to take the written test, and we now have 4 remaining. So we've got 4 to select from. If we do have one scheduled retirement coming up in February, so we'll schedule interviews to interview those 4 individuals here probably within the next month or so. Pick from that list.
Sounds good.
That's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief McCurry.
Good evening.
Hi.
evening.
All right, busy month with the total calls being taken at 692. Traffic stops are still up. Overtime is finally starting to go down a little bit. This month ought to be a little bit better. And of course, November, December is going to be vacation months, so that'll kick up a little bit. Back on the drug collection totals. Quite a few pills taken off the streets. Had a couple guns that were taken in incidents involving the drugs. Detective Division has been busy. Still getting a lot of cases coming into them from DCS and the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. They did recover some stolen vehicles last month, along with, we had several burglaries and thefts that were closed out due to the information that was able to be gained. The drone unit, we've been trying to expand that with the help of purchases and adding drone pilots to our force. We're up to 2 pilots now, and they've been rather busy out assisting other agencies and our own. This month, we were used by DNR. We were able to assist the city fire department and the county sheriff's department, as well as several times for our own department. Hopefully that can continue to grow, because that can be very beneficial. Search and rescue, investigative. For the K-9 handlers, we don't have any numbers to report on McClure because he's been at school. They have finished that training and are back and working. Patrolman Russell has been active with his dog, and he did have 1 meth seizure to report last month. But they've been getting utilized quite a bit for our own department and county sheriff's department. They don't have one on. They ask us to help them and assist them. Any questions about anything? Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Wilson. Sorry, I sent you to get that. I forgot you got reported, dude. My bad.
I'm a little out of breath.
My bad.
Utilities, monthly report. So for the water plant, we pumped 74.5 million gallons for the month of September. Our high pump day was 2.6, our low was 2.2. We are still, looking back at the numbers, somewhere we was 66, 67 averaging monthly year 2024. Somewhere in July, we up to the 70s. I mean, 4 more million gallons, and we've kind of been there with no big users using any more water. So we're still asking the public, keep an eye out to see or hear any water running somewhere. Please let us know, because it seems like we're still pumping water somewhere that's not surfacing. So that's been, we're looking over a year now that we've just, all that water's going somewhere, we just don't know where it's at. We done the wastewater treatment plant. We took in 122.95 million gallons for the month of September. We treated 56.7 million gallons. We had a total rainfall of 2.49 inches for the month of September, and we had 1,837 pounds of chlorine. We used almost 20,000 pounds of phosphorus chemicals, and we had 0 violations. We also keep up with some updating and regular maintenance schedule over at the wastewater plant. So that stuff's continuing to happen. We have quarterly inspections on things, and we've replaced some of the water lines over there. We had a 2-inch bust outside of one of the mechanics shops, so we had to fix that. But any questions on the utilities report? The September street department, we continue to pick up a lot of yard waste. The large item pickup, I believe that last day is this Thursday. We're gonna start on leaves at the end of this month, so next week. We do only have one leaf truck right now, so we are asking that people bag their leaves and leave them at the end. We'll come get those, call on Tuesday, so the day before, let us know. And we've continued to hot patch. If somebody has some areas in their neighborhood that they suggest that we get to, they can call down the street department and we'll try to get those areas. Duke, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but right there north of the street department, they're working on the substation there. So we've had to tear down some fencing, allow them to do some extra work in that area. They may be up to purchasing us a new shed because they made us move one and it kind of got destroyed. So Duke's floating the idea of letting us get us a shed. So they've been accommodating and good to work with over there. We did work on the compost site. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but we did some big improvements over there. We now have a road that leads from one end to the other so people can drive down, stay out of the mud, dump their compost. We moved the compost pile that was kind of not in compliance with IDEM and moved it to the southeast side of the compost site. We have it now in windrows where it's acceptable to IDEM, and just everything looks a whole lot better. The compost is actually starting to steam. I knew very little about the compost until I came here, but I can tell you that I've watched plenty of YouTube videos and talked with IDEM, and we're getting somewhere with it. So they were happy with that. And then if anybody's seen the transfer station, it looks great. The asphalt's down, the water pile that used to pull up by the compactor. There's a very minimal puddle this morning, and it was already gone probably noon, 1 o'clock. So that all looks great down there. We're still waiting on some signs, and I still see traffic trying to go 2 ways. Everybody needs to understand it is a one-way. When you come through that gate, everybody goes right and goes all the way around. If you go left, you're going to risk the opportunity or the chance of hitting people that's coming out of the street or the transfer station.
You know, on that, hey, John, can you pull up the graphics from Facebook on that so we can explain those after everything's done?
Yep.
And I want to do it at council too, sorry. The graphics that we created for the transfer station.
We are still, like I said, waiting on some signs, but there are plenty of one-ways there for people to look at for right now to understand that it is just one way. I think the best way is the only one you may see going the wrong way, but they're pulling trailers in now, so. While he's pulling that up, I'll go ahead with the transfer station. Street sanitation took in 433 ton, public disposal was 558, total waste into the landfill was 991, and we recycled 19 ton. We served 1,644 customers last month.
The compactor is, that area there is pretty, I was down there a couple weeks ago, it's pretty good.
Yeah, the compactor holds a whole lot more than just the dumpsters
Right.
did. So we're not having to call Best Way as often to pull out the dumpsters for the recycle.
Right.
And for the most part, it looks like people are breaking down their boxes. There's now a sticker of acceptable items on the door. So right there before you throw it in, loose items, no bags, everything should be loose. The bags now, they say, are contaminate the process, so.
I was going to tell you earlier, John, I forgot, sorry. There you go. So as you can see, we put a post out just kind of explaining kind of our reasoning for one, why you have to go one direction. What happened is when you first pull in the transfer station, you're supposed to go to the right. It's a one-way. If you have like 5 bags or less, you can bypass the scales, but you can pull right around to where that number 7 is. That's a scale house. We've asked people to stay in their vehicles. There's a lot of people getting out and talking. That's just not safe with all the amount of traffic going in there. So you stay in your vehicle. The scale operator will tell you, you can pay him if you got 5 bags or less. They'll tell you which door to dump in. You got door number 1 or door number 2. You can dump and you can exit. If you have a trailer, if you have more than 5 bags, you gotta weigh. You'll go to the right, you'll pull on the scale, pull up the scale house. They'll tell you where to dump, 1 or 2. As soon as you're dumping, that's the only time you can get out of your vehicles, when you're dumping, by the way. And then you can go to the left, get back to the scale. You'll see a red light and a green light. Whenever he weighs you, he'll flash at green. You'll pull up to the scale house, you can pay him, you can exit. We were having a lot of people sitting in line down there where they're supposed to sit before we did this renovation. And a lot of people, 5 bags or less, would just drive straight up and cut in line, and it was really ticking people off. They're waiting in line for a long time, so that's why everyone has to go to the right, get in line, wait your turn, and can pay. If you have recyclables, you still need to go to the right, because we don't want a traffic jam going to the left. You can drive, you can bypass the scale, you can pull up to the bin. The bin tells you exactly what you can dump in there, and then you can exit after that. But you have to go the one way. When you're doing compost, this is the only one we don't have a map on. You'll pull into the right, again, one way, you dump your compost. Please don't just drive straight out against the one way. That's a traffic hazard. We're trying to get everyone to go to the right, bypass the scale. You can bypass the scale house and exit at that point. So we're trying to keep a traffic flow simple. We were having a lot of confusion. People just didn't know where to go. And this is our way we come up with to really streamline that process to make it safer for everyone. So please stay in your vehicles unless you're dumping your material, and then you can get in and leave.
Yep.
And you have the list of that flyer of all that we accept. So this is everything from the company that they accept. This is not, we don't make this list, this is their list. So, and that is also placed on the compactor itself, so you can see what goes in, what can't go in. We having some people asking, well, if I bring it back, can I dump it in there? Yes, you can dump it in there, just do not put your bag in there. Just keep your bag or do something different with your bag.
For the most part, when I've been down there, and public seeing me out, they've been happy with the transfer station. So
It looks very nice.
yeah, it does. I think it turned out really good. It has some few kinks, but other than that, I think it's logistically a whole lot better than it was.
At our last solid waste district, I asked, Commissioner Strong was in there, he was around when they built the transfer station. And I said, when's the last time an investment in that transfer station has ever been made? And he goes, when they built it.
Yep.
So it's just been let go for a long time. It's a muddy mess, it was a muddy mess, it was an eyesore, so, and we still got more we're trying to do there. We got a lot of things we're trying to get done, but it looks very nice now, and it's a good flow now.
Yes, yes it is. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Powell.
Sorry, it took me a minute to log into Facebook there. I've got that locked down pretty good.
I was running late, sorry. I was in
That's
a
okay.
meeting and didn't get here in time to tell you.
No problem. So for the month of September, we had 14 hours, 34 minutes of meeting production, 16 hours, 24 minutes of original production. YouTube views, 8,386, with a total of 1,389 watch hours. We have 4,136 subscribers, which continues to grow. Top content for the month, we had 2 football games, of course, were very popular, and as always, the Market Street Plaza live cam. I don't know if anybody has noticed this, but I added a secondary cam, so it now cycles back and forth, so that you can see the new, really nice parking lot that's out there. And that's through Winterfest, so you can actually be able to see Winterfest happening during that time. Let's see. Then on Facebook, our #1 content viewership is, again, the Parks and Recreation with 136,700. Fire Department had 102,000, which is pretty amazing. Police Department, 78,000. So a lot of people do pay attention to the Facebook posts. I know that the City of Connersville page, last month we had 7,000, but we've got a lot more viewership now because of the new instructions that we placed on there. So that will be very high next month, I'm sure. Any questions? We have a couple of new things that we started. We've been editing the park system weekly update that they do this week at the park, kind of cleaning it up, formatting graphics. It's been very popular, and it's something that's cute. It really draws an attention there. They put that on their Facebook page. And then we also started working to try and help our local movie theater. Showtime Cinemas has been struggling lately. A lot of people probably didn't know that, but haven't been a lot of movies really for people to go see. But what we're doing now is we're working with them to try and promote weekly new movies that come out. So we'll let people know what those movies are and when the showtimes are. So we're publishing that on our YouTube channel as a video, and then we're sharing that on Facebook. So people seem to like it last week when we did it because, you know, it tells you a little bit about the movies and when they come out. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Harden.
Hi.
You want you to have a copy of my September 25 report. We had a total of 312 calls for service, but it's about 10.4 calls per day. So it's we usually run right there between 10 and a half and 11 and a half. So we're right there where we normally are. 2,915 calls for service as of September 30th. We're up about 3,300 right now, 32 and change. I do have a resignation when I'm done here to present. You see my fuel tax rebate so far submitted $2,131 worth of fuel tax rebates for the year. I think that's pretty much it. It was kind of a late month as far as extra stuff. So October's going to be busy. You're going to have a lot to read on for October. So does anybody have any questions on that? I do have a resignation from Audrey Isaacs, one of my paramedics, that I attached to this as well, so I need permission to accept the resignation.
I have a motion to approve the resignation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Director Steele.
Good evening.
Good
Aye.
evening.
So for the Parks Department, we had our Office Park grand opening for the fitness equipment and shelter and everything that we installed, and it went really well. We had people from that neighborhood come out to the park, and even later on, we were still there due to the pickleball competition that was going on, went a little bit later, and we had people coming out and expressing how much they really appreciate the park being put there, the walking path, the shelter, the basketball court, the pickleball court, everything. They just really appreciate that going into their community, into their neighborhood. And many of them came out and shared with us how many times a week they go and they walk on that trail, and it's really nice, and that they've tried out the fitness equipment. And I shared on our Facebook page the video that we did. I interviewed one of the girls that lives in that neighborhood, one of the ladies, and she shared that her walking steps went from 2,000 to 7,000, and it's because she's been out there really trying to push herself to increase her steps. So I love to see the health, the fitness generating in that neighborhood, and people are getting outside and they're walking and they're using that equipment. So I added some quotes here of some things that we received from people in the neighborhood and how much they're really enjoying it. So that park, just to kind of remind everyone, was able to be installed due to the Okra grant. Some people may not have remembered that or have did not know that, but we received an Okra grant, I believe it was in 2022, to be able to put that walking path in. And we had very specific regulations that we had to follow. Couldn't just go to anything. So we followed those and we put that in, and it's been great. So we're glad for that, and can't wait to see many more years of people using that. The Whitewater Career Center, as they approached us at the beginning of the exercise science class, approached us at the beginning of the year and wanted to know if we would partner with them and allow some of their students to come and observe our atmosphere, our work atmosphere, but also our Living Well, Aging Well program. And so we have decided to partner with them and do that. And so twice a week, now through the end of December, we will have 2 students, it's the same students every time. They will come and they will be shadowing us. We have gave them a task of putting a program together, a one-day class or event for the Living Well, Aging Well program. So they're working on that right now, and they're really excited about that. And so that is going on, and we're just excited to be able to partner with someone else in the community and allow them to come to the park. And the girls, I spoke with the teacher, and she said that the girls are really enjoying what they're learning at the park. So that's been fun. I attended the Blue Zones meeting. That was a public meeting here a couple weeks ago, and just wanted to hear the feedback and what they wanted to present to our community. I left with feeling very positive about our community, because a lot of things that she mentioned we are already doing. And that's exciting to say for our community. And so, we put in Obbitts Park, we put in 2nd Street Park. We're getting ready to do some improvements next year. And downtown is revitalized. We have the Market Street Plaza. So the things that she had recommended that other cities have started to do through their program, we're already there. So that was very encouraging. I left there very encouraged by what our community is doing for our residents. And then I just wanted to share with everyone that I am a part of the Indiana Parks and Recreation Association committee, and we plan the conference every year. This year, the conference will be the week of November 10th, and it will be in Muncie, so I will be attending that. And I am a part of that committee, so we do a lot of we pick the guest speakers for the week, we pick the classes, the education sessions, the keynote speaker, all the activities. Our committee does all of that. So I've been meeting with them every month, and we've been planning that. One thing I did want to mention that's not on my report, but I know it's been asked quite a bit. Back in the springtime, well, actually last December, we had received the $5 million grant from Eli Lilly, the gift grant, which was written through the foundation. There's been questions about where that money is going and what we're doing with that. So I just wanted to just kind of give everybody an update that we just met last week. I did post a video on Facebook to let everyone know that I was going into a meeting to discuss the playground equipment and design for Roberts Park. We are also using those funds to put in more walking paths on the north side of town, in Roberts Park and around the community. And this is just going to add to what we did at Obbitts Park and increase the mobility and everybody getting out in the town, walking and exercising, and getting more mobile. And those funds, we have to be very specific as to what we spend those funds on. And I think that's where sometimes that understanding isn't there, and we think we just might be able to spend it on anything, and we cannot. It has to be spent on very specific things that we wrote into that grant. So I just wanted to mention that because I know that's been brought up, and just wanted to clarify, but we are working, we are making progress on that, and the skate park as well, because that's been a question. So they're going hand in hand, and we're working to move that forward. Just some upcoming events, always are this week at the park on Facebook every Friday. Living Well, Aging Well calendar is out for October. October 28th is our first responders trunk or treat from 5 to 7. If you'd like to sign up to pass out candy, call the office and we will get you signed up. Boys basketball registration is open until November 7th. We are still taking registrations for Christmas in the park for the light displays. So if anybody wants to put up a light display in the park, just contact us and we can get you on the list. And then our Christmas party in the park will be December 11th from 5 to 7. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I just got a comment. Back on the grants. On those grants, they're specific what you apply for. You can't really deviate from what you've applied for because there's penalties,
Correct.
okay?
Yes.
I
correct.
hope the public understands that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Anyone have any old business? Under miscellaneous business, we have Halloween, October 31st from 5 to 7. Again, that is October 31st from 5 to 7. Claims.
Claims? Yeah, that's fine. Claims for October 20th, city, $143,869.42. Payroll, $530,765.50. Utilities, $659,229.58.
Motion to approve claims.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on down to the public forum. I know we have two gentlemen here for the public forum, so whoever wants to go first is coming up.
Hello. I'm Joseph Olympus. I run Joey's Dog Pound, which is a hot dog vending cart. Here to seek permission to set up over here by the courthouse through the week. I offer, various things that you would find on a hot dog cart. You give people downtown and the opportunity to find something different to eat. I've been setting up in various locations, especially towards the east side. Had real good reception from everybody so far within the community. Just, again, looking for permission to set up over here at the courthouse.
What days?
2 days a week would be great. Monday or Tuesdays and Fridays.
For how long?
I have no deadline. When weather gets to the point where I can't stand to be out there in the cold.
I'll leave it up to the board,
The
but
only thing that concerns me is sometimes there's other things going on with that parking lot, and I think it's pretty hard for us to commit to you for just out there, you could come 2 days a week for till December. I don't think we can do that. We have to have specific times, dates, and go from there.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Actually, I know I don't.
Well, we have like the Winterfest. is
I
coming,
understand that.
And we
But
have
for that,
other-
I wouldn't be
Right.
there for those.
But what I'm saying is we have other things going on, and other people ask for the use too at the parks. So, we've let the trucks come in, the food trucks a couple times, but they've always been specific with the times and how long they're gonna be here, what times, what days, and all that. So we just can't give carte blanche for this.
Agree, I understand that, but at the same time, what I'm saying is I can move my schedule around. It's not the good thing about having the vending cart is very mobile, so that specific location may not be available at that time due to other things going on. But I would just like to be able to set up around the community without any,
I understand
I'm gonna
that.
have a really small footprint. I don't take up a lot of space. I'm completely self-contained. I'm fully insured. I have my health department, permission or permit, following, you know, all the regulations of the city, county, and state, and of course with the feds. I'm just looking for the okay to set up in an area, not necessarily that one. If something's going on, I can move around.
But here's my only concern, and I love food trucks, don't get me wrong. So they are very specific. They come in one day a week and they schedule maybe 3 or 4 times a year. I'm very cautious with food trucks because our downtown businesses, restaurants in particular, invest to be downtown. It's not really fair to them when someone is to come in free of charge and not contribute back like they're contributing back to their property taxes. It really hurts local businesses. So I like food trucks. I think it has a draw to it outside of restaurants, but I'm very cautious about just giving a carte blanche whenever you want. It's not fair to our downtown business who chose to make that investment downtown. So I'm fine with setting up there, but it's like Jim said, it's very specific. I mean, I think the longest we've given is what, 3 or 4 weeks for
3 or 4
one
weeks has
barbecue
been
truck,
about it.
1 day a week. And they said the exact time they only served, what,
Yep.
10 to 1 or something like
Yeah,
that. I
like
don't
through
remember.
lunch.
Right, that's
I
my
think
time
what-
frame is
I think
usually
what we're
11
gonna have to do as a
to 4.
board and a community is come up with food truck regulations, which we don't have. And other communities are dealing with this very same thing. Some communities don't allow food trucks, period, because they want their local businesses to thrive at the same time. I still live with the food trucks, local is still a local business. So I think there's a compromise, but I just can't give a carte blanche of whenever you want, however you want down there, because I don't think that's fair to local business who chose to buy and invest in a building downtown.
And I understand those facts, but, you know, again, picking out that area in my time in which I operate, it doesn't really impact, nobody else is doing what I do.
It impacts local business.
Well, right, I bring local people to business.
No, I mean the local restaurants downtown.
That's what yeah, but again, all right, I understand.
Does that make sense? I mean, I'm fine
Actually,
with.
again, it does not make sense to me due to the fact that I'm bringing in something that is completely different than what's being offered in this town.
I don't disagree with that.
Therefore, I'm not taking away from Jimmy's, I'm not taking away from Brian's, I'm not taking their business that their people, their clients come to. They, you know, the time frame in which they are open and what they're seeking is not something that I have.
I don't disagree with that, but it is taken away from their business, because there's people that won't visit their place because they're coming to you, and those people are paying an investment to be downtown for a specific reason.
Okay.
That's coming from them as well, when I talk to local businesses.
Okay.
And some businesses hate food trucks with a passion. I personally don't. I love the entrepreneurism. I just think we have to be very specific and streamline how we go forward with this. And I really think probably next year, we're going to look at coming up with some ordinances for bringing food trucks in, so everyone's on the same page, and we have a formal guideline, because there's more and more food trucks coming around.
Right,
There's no question
absolutely.
about it. Now, for special events, people come downtown, and we use the food trucks as a draw, but most of the time, they still go to the local restaurants, because food trucks are very expensive. So they want to taste a little bit something different, then they go to a local restaurant. So, and our local restaurants, when we do events like that, have seen an uptick in customers coming in at the same time. So I'm very careful about, I don't want to hurt our local restaurants who made the investment to be downtown. But we have to come up with something going forward. So I'm fine with this year, I mean, it's up to the board. If you want to give them 1 or 2 days a week for
Well,
such times,
I
I'm
think
fine
it's,
with
you know,
that.
I don't think we can deviate from what we've done in the past, you know.
I agree.
People's come before us in the past, they've always had specific dates and times that they're gonna be over there. So we're gonna need that from you, that'd be my opinion, before we approve for you to be over there. Because we need to know times and dates. Okay? Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. You up, sir?
Hello, my name is Jason Marshall. I'm from Carstar Gully's Auto Body. I'm here to see if we can possibly get permission on Halloween night, what, the 31st? During trick or treat hours. We might have to set up a little earlier, maybe 4 to 8, so we can tear down and pick up. But we're wanting permission, we're trying to get all the local businesses, smaller businesses, to participate in trunk or treat. On the south side of town, there's not a whole lot of areas for the kids to really trick or treat. They gotta go all the way up Grand or all the way up by the high school. And we're trying to get local businesses, we just wanna host it to get local businesses to put out signage and just have a safe place for the kids on this side, the south side of town, to have a place to trunk or treat.
What time does the courthouse close? Are they done by 4?
Except on Wednesdays,
I
we're
could-
till 5.
I could remember it's 4, 4:30.
It's 4.
Okay, so it would,
Maybe
it'd
4:30?
have to be after the courthouse closes, so people
Okay.
get a chance to get out of the way and everything.
Okay.
You're not talking about in the parking lot, are you? Are you talking about just the local businesses downtown?
We're trying to get, I want to go all across town to get all the
Oh,
smaller
I'm sorry, I
businesses to
misunderstood.
set up for trunk or treat in the courthouse parking lot. Everybody kind of come in there to just try to get awareness and.
Like another trunk or treat location.
Yeah, but some kids just can't get, the atmosphere and some of the, for the kids around here in some situations, we'd like to get something a little closer so that they can get there on this side of town.
So you just want to set up on the 31st from really 4:30 to 7:30, basically.
Yeah, enough time to set up and tear down, and we'll be out of there.
Any questions, concerns, comments?
So this is the parking lot in the,
The courthouse.
Yeah,
parking
just the
lot.
courthouse parking lot.
Okay.
The business part of it, I've already been doing a lot of legwork. I've got a few that, businesses that already, if we could get this passed, that are committed to it. The other ones are, need to know if we're actually doing it before they can commit to something.
The only thing I can't give you permission on is when you face the courthouse on that far south side, that very first row of parking, that goes to the sidewalk to the
Yeah,
courthouse.
right.
That's the
opposite
county's, we
Yeah.
don't have, everything from that north
Right,
is
between
ours.
Jimmy's and the backside of the courthouse, that parking lot right there.
That's all ours, except that
Okay.
very first row,
The
by the
very-
courthouse.
Okay,
That whole
So, okay, yes,
south row,
you're
west,
right.
east, west.
like you guys said, they set up for farmer's market, they
Yeah.
keep that.
Yeah, that's the
Open.
county's, so.
Motion to approve the gentleman's request.
I'll second it.
Have a motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
Thank
You
you.
guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Anyone else from public? Anything to say? If not, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
second.
A motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Have a good evening.